What's up guys, Sebastian here and welcome to this video. And I want to tell you some things that I've learned about investing in the past years and months, because in the past years I've been learning about real estate investing, and in the past several months I've been learning about investing in the stock market, which is something that I really like. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and just investing in general. So I read this really good book. It's called The Intelligent Investor by Ben Graham. And basically, Ben Graham, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, I think, yes. This guy was a college professor, I think it was I forgot the name of the college. But basically he was Warren Buffett's professor. And he taught him a bunch of stuff about the stock market, investing. And eventually Warren Buffett started working in his company for several years. And then he left, right? I don't know, I don't remember why. But I decided to read this book because I was like really intrigued, like learning about the mentor from Warren Buffett, and Warren Buffett was one of his most successful students, of course, when it comes to investing. He's worth like $80 billion, right, Warren Buffett. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna start learning about investing. I need to learn from the best in the world, people that I like their philosophy, and they have really cool philosophies. Of course, Warren Buffett's philosophy is very similar to the one of his mentor. Usually when you learn the foundations of something from someone, you stick to them for the long term. You might change a few things here and there in your philosophy, but the roots, the foundations, they stay very similar. So something that I learned that I wanted to share with you guys, and by the way, I'm not saying I'm a professional investor or something like that. I'm just telling you what I learned. And what I learned is the concept of value investing, right? And this book was mainly about stocks, buying businesses, and finding the real value of businesses and stocks before buying them. But something that I learned is that you can literally apply value investing to absolutely anything that you're going to buy in the world to know if it's a good investment or a bad investment. So the concept is very similar, very simple. I mean, the book itself, to me, considering myself a newbie investor in the stock market, there were some terms, some things that I didn't understood. Even if I read them, several things, I had to Google a lot of things. But the main concept that I got was that if you want to invest successfully, you got to do it like this. So for instance, let's say that the real value of this book is $5, right? This is the real value of the book based on the materials, based on the amount of pages, based on the durability, the quality, and the improvements or benefits that it can bring you. $5 is the real value. So if this book is selling for $10, then it's twice the amount of the real value. Therefore, it is too expensive and you should not buy it, and it's not a good investment, right? But if you find this book that it has a lot of benefits for your life, and it has a real value of $5, and you find it for $3, then it's a good investment. It's pretty much that simple. I mean, of course, there's more technicalities. Then you have also the margin of error. So, for instance, let's say that you find this book at $5. Let's say this book has a real value of $5, but you want a 50% margin of error. So instead of buying it at 2.5, you should be buying it like at 1.5 to have a 50% margin of error. So it's just about figuring out what is the real value of something and what is the current price that they're selling it for. So for instance, if you're going to buy an Apple stock, and you got to find the real value of the Apple stock in order to compare it with the real price that it's selling right now. And that's called the intrinsic value. The intrinsic value is the real value of something. So let's say that you figure out that the intrinsic value of Apple, the real value of their stock, is $200, right? You can find that with multiple formulas. There's not a right or wrong way. I do it with many different. I do it like with 5 formulas. I compare the results to find the intrinsic value. So you find the intrinsic value, the real value of Apple stock. Let's say that it's 200. So if it's selling at 300, that basically tells you that it's overvalued, and that the stock price is higher because of speculation, because people think it's going to go up. But the real value, based on the cash flow, based on the dividends, based on the predictability of the income within the next years, the real value is 200. So if it's at 300, you're overpaying. But if you figure out that the real value of Apple is 200 and right now it's selling at $110 because of coronavirus, it means that you're buying at a lower price than the real price, and therefore it's going to be a good investment if you're buying a good company, right? That's what I've learned. It's so simple, but it's so true. Like, also, I'm looking to invest in more property, right? Not so much like in real estate. I'm also going to be buying real estate, but I'm going to be investing also in property, like rivers and like real land, right? Because I feel that in the future, a good investment is going to be things that bring us back to our roots, things that actually add value in terms of that allow you to survive, like water, like food, like land, these kind of things, and not like a flying apartment in the middle of a building, right? So I also want to diversify and buy property. My point is that, let's say that I was seeing several properties in a really nice place that I like, and the real value of land over there is around $15 per square meter. So every square meter is $15. That's the real value. How did I find it? Because I went to a page of the government that basically tells you how much a square meter is worth in different parts of the country, right? In specific cities, in specific condominiums, in the specific areas. So I saw that it's $15, right? But I saw this property that has a river, has a bunch of water, has a really nice view. It's like a really nice area. And the cost per square meter is $2. So real value, $15. This current value, $2. So what that tells you is that it's a property in discount compared to the real value, based on the studies that they've made, that the government has made in that area. So you gotta start learning from there and seeing, like, why is it so cheap? Is there something wrong that I'm not seeing? But if everything looks good, and you compare it to other properties nearby, and those are in 15, but the one that you want to buy is at $2 per square meter, it's a lot cheaper, then it's a good deal, right? And it's that simple. And if they're in this area that I was also checking out, there's a bunch of mosquitoes here. In this area that I was also checking out, there were some properties that were selling at $30 or $50 per square meter. So I saw this property at $2. No, not $2. Actually, it was like $3, more like $3, but still super cheap compared to the real value. And that's something that I learned from the book. It's something that I wouldn't have seen, even if it sounds like super obvious. I wouldn't have seen it if I wouldn't have read that book. And it's a concept that this value investing principle that I'm going to be applying for many areas of my life. Right now, based on the book as well, I made several investments in the stock market. Right now I own like 8 or 9 companies so far. And obviously I bought them at the right time during the coronavirus crisis. But I believe I've had like a total return of 30% within the next 3 months, which obviously is insane. And most people shouldn't expect those kind of returns. But I bought those at the right time, the right companies, and based on this very simple principle. Now, it also tells you that you should stick to your investments for the long term, not for like 3 months. Like I didn't buy companies in the stock market to keep them for 3 months. I bought them to keep them for 10, 20 years. So just like a property, just like a farm. So that's it, guys. Just wanted to share these things that I'm learning about investing. I'm gonna keep learning, of course. And I suggest you read that book. It's called The Intelligent Investor by Ben Graham. If you're interested to invest in the stock market and learn about value investing for many different areas. That's basically it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.